Suid-Afrika, mijn geboorteplek, mijn tuiste, van Zeepunt tot Margate. En punten tussenin, ons is liever ons prachtige thee. Waar ons harten volwassen geword het, maar tijd in ons gedraai. En de stad om te gaan. Zuid-Afrika, mijn geboorteplek, mijn tuiste, van Zeepunt tot Margate. En punten tussenin, ons is liever ons prachtige thee. Waar ons harten volwassen geword het, maar tijd in ons gedraai. En de stad om te gaan.
Sunsets and skies so blue, mountains whisper stories of dreams so true. From oceans roaring wild to valleys deep, a heartbeat of a nation that will not sleep. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land, with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. People sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave and weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people above it all. We know it all.
Marvin Divine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming, it's cool I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025, folks. Welcome back to the program. It's Chris live in central Pennsylvania. I hope you're doing well. Wearing my old khaki polo today. I hope that shows up well on the camera. Somebody has a birthday. I didn't see who it was. Whose birthday is it? Could somebody please remind us whose birthday it is before I put up the cake? Welcome back to the program. And we're going to go through some news from South Africa around the continent and also around the globe. That'll be coming up in just a moment here. Still waiting for someone. People are saying it's cold in South Africa. Well, it's lovely here. Temperature's gorgeous outside. Just finished recording a session with Gareth Cliff from Cliff Central a few moments ago for the Truth Report, and hopefully that'll come out sometime soon. I think you're going to space those things out. And Tylene says it's freezing. Nobody's telling me whose birthday it is, so I've missed that. Okay, well, I guess we'll get back to it. All right. I was definitely not in South Africa with that short sleeve shirt and wearing shorts. Well, I'd be wearing the same thing if I was in South Africa. It's Topi's birthday. Oh, Topi, thank you. Finally, somebody told me that. Thank you, Mush. Appreciate that. Right. Well, happy birthday to you, my friend. Let's see if we can get this thing to work this time. It didn't want to work properly yesterday, so let me see if I can get this to work, okay? I want to see if this works first before we put your cake up, okay? Oh, come on. Let's cooperate here. Oh, come on. It's got to be here somewhere. Oh, come on. Oh, is it gone? Oh, there it is. There it is.
It's a trap!
Didn't work again. It's very frustrating. Anyway, yeah, so I have to do that before I actually, let me see if this works.
His charm is so
Nope, when I adjust these things, they won't cooperate. That's crazy. All right, well, that sucks. So anyway, but yeah, we do want to give you the birthday cake, so we'll do that now. Happy birthday, Utopi. There you go. Happy birthday. Yep, 14 degrees down by the ocean. That's not really cold. Chris, be careful forgetting birthday or bugger off bunny will fly not PK's. I can't get everybody's birthday. Gordon's Bay is cold. Wow, Gordon's Bay. That's my new haunts. Gordon's Bay, Somerset West. Yep, Harbor Island, all around that area. Eager to hear what ridiculous comedy show our government has conjured up this time? Well, there's a few things. Happy birthday to Utopi. There you go. All right, well, give the old man a little credit. Big noise outside the house, just checked, and the city of Cape Town is fixing the pothole where the car tire was placed in. Wow, that's interesting, Lynette. That's interesting. Anne Marie, I made you cry with that. Well, that's my creation through AI. I came up with some lyrics. I pumped them in my rudimentary Afrikaans and went and checked the spelling and had it checked online, and then maybe not the best word. I mean, I didn't want to use Tyd om te trek because Bok van Blerk recorded that song. But I mean, basically, I want to say simple. It's Tyd om te gaan, to go. Anyway, sorry that made you cry. It wasn't the intent. The intent was for people to enjoy it. All that music is located on my DJ Silver Eagle Spotify account, and music is available on Amazon and also at the iTunes Music Store, Weezer, and a bunch of other locations you can find it, folks, if you want to listen. Anyway, but we've got 200 plus, I think 250 or so people listening on Spotify now, so let's get up to a few thousand. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway, and we keep putting songs on there. Last night we came up with a new one about mosquitoes. Did you guys hear the mosquito song last night? We had two really good ones. The lyrics are fantastic. Now, don't everybody disappear because I'm going to play the mosquito song because it rocks. It really rocks. I got two of them. I'm going to play the second version the first version because I like that better. Here you go. So let's listen to it. Skeeter season is back again. So this is good stuff, guys. This is good stuff. We had fun with this last night because of mosquitoes. Okay, Skeeter season is back. You ready for this? Vampires. DJ Silver Eagle in the house with Radio Afterlife.
Buzzing in the moonlight glow. Tiny vampires in a row. They dive, they sting, they leave a show. Keep
Skeeter season. That's the first version. The second version was even better, but it's longer. I didn't want to take all that time. Well, folks, there you go. People suffering through mosquitoes in the wintertime in South Africa, which is bizarre. But here, because of the heavy rains in central Pennsylvania, I, for the first time, have actually seen mosquitoes in the entire time I've lived here. Never really dealt with them. And also gnats. Ugh, I hate gnats. Yeah, because everything's wet and damp, and they're just breeding grounds for these little pesky buggers. Skeeter season. Nearly died of malaria. My goodness. Sorry to hear that, Helen. I'm glad that you hung in there and didn't die. Skeeter season, folks. Yeah, it's malaria is wicked, killing 5 million people per year. You're getting good. Thank you very much, Yolandi. Appreciate that. The Mozzies in Finland are insane. They are primal boar. Yeah. Is that also the doing in the U.S.? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the USAID canceled its programs around the world, and mosquitoes are running unabated in Finland as a consequence. Blame America. It's all Trump's fault. Trump and Jan van Riebeck colluded to destroy the world. Didn't you know that? They're bloodsuckers, just like the ANC. I think you're right. Dancing with the Stars? I don't think so. Hey, what's going on there, Shawnee? What does make South Africa great again? I think she's talking about one of my songs. Malaria twice. Well, I'm glad your dad survived, Karen. Wow, what a strange way to spell Karen. Karen Rabe, welcome. Thank you for being here. What a rhythm. And as new week starts and new updates come, may all stay safe. Yeah, I just did a video about the Refugee program, folks. It was prompted by Professor G doing a video earlier today. He released about Asylum, giving people bad news, telling people what I've said all along. He's got 2 anecdotal cases now, and apparently one person who was an H-2A visa, if I understood him correctly, was denied asylum. What advice? Now, that doesn't mean everyone else will be denied, but I just look at the data. It's not good. So anyway, you can watch my video, and you can say what you want. Some people's feelings are going to be hurt, but that's because they just can't handle the truth. Email from an 18 July and a call yesterday from Israel stating they want to talk to me about my statement of interest I submitted. Well, there you go. Well, the real great Kali, we had a super chat that came in a few minutes ago from Werner Duplessis. Werner said I sent you an urgent email regarding super chat. Okay, Werner, I've read your email. I don't know that it's urgent, but it's certainly noteworthy. Werner, are you giving permission to share what you share with me? Can you? I mean, if you give me permission, I will say it in a way that makes sense. Yeah. So, but I need Werner's permission. So, nobody's been denied refugee status that I'm aware of, Freya. This was a case of an H-2A person that apparently tried for asylum and were denied by an asylum judge, which is what I said is likely to happen. Look, I mean, not to go into refugee things, but let's just cover it right now, get it out of the way right now, since a couple things are coming up. We'll get to the news in a minute. So for those of you who are frustrated by the refugee program, please be patient, okay? We entertain everything here. So we even entertained Sloat Steenkamp's bigotry and racism until we sent him packing the other day, yesterday. Anyway, so here's the deal. The 2023 asylum approval rate for South African applicants was 11%. That's actually high, 11%. So if you're here on an H-2A visa in America working as a temporary migrant, legal migrant to America on a temporary place, you don't have an abode here. You're not an American. You're not a permanent resident. You're here on a short-term visit. And we've allowed you to work to help our economy. You pay taxes. You get Social Security taxes paid. You got money to send home to family. It works out. Everybody wins. Wins. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. However, if you don't want to live in South Africa, you want to come here because you fear for your life, that's legitimate. My recommendation all along has been to fill out a statement of interest, and hopefully they'll contact you, but you'll probably have to go back to South Africa. But if you're doing telephonic interviews, you may not have to go back to South Africa. The key thing you want to emphasize here is that you live in South Africa. You're just temporarily in the States. You're not staying here. You don't have permanent residency here. It's unsafe. That's a legitimate argument. Here's the outcome. For the gentleman who overstayed their visa, or a lady, whichever it was, overstayed a visa that he's talking about. I don't know any of the details. I'm just using a generic case. If you're an H-2A visa holder, you overstay your visa and apply for asylum. If you get a court hearing with a judge in timely fashion, which is unlikely with the millions of fraudulent cases that we're dealing with because of Biden still, but let's say you do. You get your case. But the bottom line is, in the meantime, you have to pay thousands of dollars to an asylum attorney, or you have to go into this on your own, not knowing what the hell to do. So it's going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars to get an attorney to defend you, to go before a judge in an adversarial situation. You get denied like this person did. What's the outcome now? Well, you overstayed your visa. You are no longer welcome in America. Do you think you'll ever get an H-2A visa to come back and work here again? Do you think you'll ever be able to come here as a refugee? Probably not, because you've proven you can't obey the rules. So guess what happens? You go back to South Africa anyway, and you never come back to America. That's the likely outcome. That's the likely outcome. When did Professor say this over? No, Tins. Professor G has been saying that he recommends that people in H-2A get a visa or do asylum. That's the one disagreement we've had. He's been telling people to. I heard him say that you know, going back to South Africa, you're going to undermine your asylum case. Well, you shouldn't be trying for asylum, is my argument. Anyway, so there you go. I mean, if you are denied asylum after overstaying your visa, you are not going to be able to come back to America. So how have you benefited from that? You want to be the 1 out of 10 that actually gets the asylum? Well, good luck on that. I mean, that's worse odds in Vegas. At least at Vegas, people win every third time. On the slot machines, that is, the fruit machines. Francis, I don't know where you're getting your numbers from. I don't know how you know that. Not what I heard. Arctic, you're restating what I just said. Except he didn't say if you can't. Anyway, I don't want to get an argument over that. This is not here to start a dispute. My point is this, is that asylum is not a good route for anybody. Why people think it's a good route, I don't know. Probably because it conflate refugee with asylum. But a lot of people are conflating refugee with immigration. It's not the same thing. Most people lie in asylum interviews. That's why the denial rate is so high. The agents doing interviews and the judges know what to look for. If you lie, you're screwed. Well, Napoleon, that's a fair statement. That's a fair statement because very few people have legitimate cases for asylum. Very few people that come here have legitimate cases for asylum because you have to have been admitted legally into America to apply for asylum. And very few people meet those conditions. Okay? Refugee is a far easier threshold to cross. When is the South African next-ray flight to America? Well, let's see. When does the next flight land in Atlanta or D.C.? I don't know. What time they land? 5 o'clock today? That's probably when, Jandre. People come here every day. Refugees have been coming over almost every single day. You just don't know because the media's not reporting. God bless it. Sorry, my phone is blowing up over here. People are stupid BS. I don't care about your problems. What is this? Truth Social Plus. Yeah, well, offer me some airtime on it, then I'll consider it. People are leaving every day. Oh, dear God. This is not going to be a refugee thing. I'm going to tell you right now, the real great Khalil, watch my videos, okay? Could one of the mods put the video link into the real story about the Kenya thing? Of course, they don't have American accent. You're not watching my videos. You're coming in and you're interrupting my news program asking refugee questions. I've tolerated this because Werner put a super chat in there, but we're going to get away from refugee thing here in just a moment. Please watch the videos. Have the courtesy and respect for the time that I devote to explain these things to watch my videos. And I don't want to hear from people, well, I didn't know you had a video. Well, that means you're not watching my channel. You're not going to the channel and actively looking for videos. It's on the refugee playlist. It's on the South Africa playlist. And I just published it a few days ago. So please have the courtesy, folks, to go watch the videos. Yeah, Arctic is saying Professor G is reaffirming what Chris said from the start. Asylum is a cock idea. I've said it from the outset. It's a bad idea. Yanni just watched my most recent video. Thank you for that, Yanni. Okay, all right. So no one take offense. That wasn't targeted at anybody, that comment. I'm just saying, please watch the videos. South Africans were found out working illegally in America. They were deported and visas were nullified. Question, can they ever return to America after program? Honest, maybe, but I wouldn't get too excited about it. You've proven, I mean, maybe if a long time period of time is passed, maybe. And they can make the argument when they go before the interview and say, look, we were desperate. We had no choice. Some of our lives were in jeopardy. I mean, it's up. You know, the good news is that you're not going before an immigration judge. It's all handled by the State Department. So you might find a sympathetic ear. Milk and Honey says, stop yelling at me. Yeah, okay, sure. Yes, Sundays, I do a whole program of refugee stuff on Sunday. Just watch the latest. We all need to realize that this refugee offers a golden gift. Impatience will drive you crazy. After completing, relax and stay prepared. Exactly, Barbie. Barbie. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair. Touch me everywhere. Come on, Barbie. Let's go party. The fantasy world. I can be your dolly. Sorry, Barbie. I couldn't resist. I love Aqua's song. That is such a great thing. Such a great song. Thank you, GTA. Okay. Oh, Werner answer yes. Okay. Thank you. I didn't see that. I'll take that as I missed it because I'm answering these questions. So Werner, Americans say Werner. Werner sent me an email, and Werner has, not his real name, by the way, had a phone call. It lasted all of 40 minutes and was asked to give 3 reasons that he fears future persecution. Werner said that he nailed it because of my advice. And then they'll get back within a few weeks. Asked if they can travel to Pretoria. And Werner lives in a different place far away. So there you go, folks. For those of you who are skeptics, I mean, unless everybody's lying to me, which is possible. I mean, that's entirely possible. But I mean, I don't think there's too many people that are going to give a super chat, to spend their money to get attention, to point out, hey, here's an email, go check it out. I got an interview. I don't think there's a lot of people going to do that. That's pretty sophisticated and pretty elaborate just to mislead people. I don't think people are misleading anyone. So who's going to vote for MK? Yeah, where is the vote no confidence? Still waiting for that. Just watched the recent video, and you're right, Colonel. Many will be offended, but they need to suck it up. Yeah, I don't care if they're offended. I'm offended. I'm offended that people don't take the time to watch the videos, and people argue with me when they don't know what they're talking about, and insult America when they don't know what they're talking about. So I've had it up to here. Ich habe die Nase voll gehabt. Also man sagt auf Deutsch, ich habe die Nase voll gehabt. I've had it up to here, we say in English, and in German we say we've had our nose full. I'm tired of it, of people that don't know what they're talking about. And I appreciate people's impatience, their concerns. They're all valid, but don't attack America. Nobody's offered you anything. Anything. Did Ireland invite you to come there as a refugee and pay for your trip and give you accommodation and help you get set up for a job? No, they didn't. UK, New Zealand, Zimbabwe, Canada, nobody did. Donald Trump did. As I point out in the video, when I was a young man, after already having a security clearance, a secret security clearance, I needed a top secret sensitive compartment information clearance, which is the highest level you can get as an intelligence officer. My clearance took 6 months to investigate, and I had done very little in my life. I'd been in the Army, I'd gone to college, I worked on a farm. That's it. Now I'm a little bit older, and when I have to fill out my form, it takes like 30 pages of filling out information to update my top secret clearance, and involves polygraphs that could go for 3 hours or longer. Yeah. And people are worried about something that they submitted 8 weeks ago. You gotta... Namaste. Namaste. Jacaranda published this afternoon. MK has instituted... Oh, have they? I didn't see that. Okay. Let's go look for that. I've been waiting for it. Jacaranda FM. Let's go, Jacaranda FM. The award-winning radio station. Jacaranda. Top stories. They must have put it on the radio because it's not on their website. Okay. Let me go back. News and sport. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. 3 hours ago. How come the mainstream media haven't covered this in the last 3 hours? There you go, folks. Let's start with that story. We've got it. Now I'll have to do an update. I did a short yesterday. We're going to have to do a new one now. Oh, they put a statement out. Well, their statement's probably on their Twitter account, so let's go there. MK, the Stolen Valor Party. Gonto Izizwe official party. Let's see if they got a statement here. Why is that Andrew Tate? That's not it. That's 123 followers. That's nonsense. MK Party. What's their damn... I got so many fake accounts here. I don't know which one's real. There it is. All right. Cool. All right. This is, they just published this a short while ago. Let's go with that story. Let's start with that story, folks. Let's get to the news. Yes, Alan, you're ahead of me because the media haven't reported it. I don't listen to Jacaranda FM. They went too woke for me. I don't listen to them. I don't listen to East Coast Radio anymore either, or 702, or the Islam channel. I don't listen to any of them in South Africa. When I'm in South Africa, I jam to DJ Silver Eagle. So it is breaking news from 3 hours ago. I did a short yesterday saying, where is I think MK watches my channel, because today they filed the motion of no confidence after I castigated them yesterday for not doing it. Let's go ahead and get to this, folks. Here's the breaking story out of South Africa, where the MK party, the Stolen Valor Party, has filed a no confidence motion against Ramaphosa. The Nkonto Sizwe Party has filed a motion of no confidence against President Ramaphosa in protest against the decision not to axe Police Minister Senzo Mkhunu. The party accused Ramaphosa of shielding him from political interference allegations. They're also headed to the Constitutional Court to challenge Ramaphosa's decision to place Mkhunu on special leave and the subsequent appointment of Professor Firoz Kachaleya as acting police minister. MK Party today has put a motion of no confidence in the president for his failures, and chief among them, failure to fire Mkhunu and to protect the most vulnerable in our society. The party, which is the official opposition in parliament, says it believes its motion will succeed, as it is discussing backing it with what it described as progressive parties. EFF. We have faith in the Progressive Caucus. Most have expressed that they are definitely behind this motion. We hope that Sandy will prevail over the DA. They finally will choose what is right over the blue lights. The DA will choose sanity over the blue lights. You know what that is? The privileges they get. Yes, MK is definitely upping their game. Who stole 41 quadrillion rand? What are you talking about? And here's their Twitter account. MK Party held a press briefing on the latest developments in parliamentary work and gave an update on the Constitutional Court application, the motion no confidence against Ramaphosa, and the upcoming 23 July vote on the various budgets. The briefing was led by Deputy President and Party Leader in Parliament, the Honorable Impeach John Schlope, and Chief Whip Colleen Makubele, alongside the Honorable Des Van Rooyen and the Honorable Sanile Mwale, Wesley Douglas, Brian Molefe, and Singubusini Majola. Boy, they really have to have a lot of people just to make one statement there. The Stolen Valor Party really is working hard to get your attention. Back to the news now, folks, and moving away from the refugee stuff. Emalacheleni, Chief Whip, has been assassinated. Otheka Lale was gunned down in Komani. Emalacheleni, local municipality chief whip and portfolio head of infrastructure development human settlements, Otheka Lale, has been shot dead in Komani. Police sources said the discovery was made by his brother, who first noticed an unused bullet in the house. When he entered the bedroom, he found him lying on the bed with multiple gunshot wounds to the upper body and back. Police have confirmed the incident and said the official statement will be released. Welcome to Gangsterland, South Africa, ladies and gentlemen. Gangsterland, South Africa. Well, FlySAF Air flights are running normal despite the pilot strike. FlySAF Air has confirmed that all flights on today's schedule are departing as planned. Must be some very reliable pilots who stepped up. I see Arctic's here. I castigated these pilots yesterday, Arctic. You probably wouldn't have enjoyed that. FlySAF Air implemented a reduced flight schedule last week, allowing it to manage the impact of the ongoing strike effectively. In a show of transparency, the airline communicated these changes to all affected customers through SMS and email notifications, utilizing the contact details provided at the time of booking. And yesterday, people were complaining that nobody was informed. Well, apparently they did inform people. I don't know. I wasn't flying on this particular time. And I'm guessing that instead of 12 flights to Cape Town on the day, they reduced it to 6 or something like that. Probably filled those planes up completely. Mkwanazi's corruption allegations prompt a plan for an ad hoc committee on police crisis. Oh, another committee, another investigation. More wasted time and resources. An ad hoc committee is set to be established to consider KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Nandla Mkwanazi's allegations of corruption in the South African Police Service. Well, good luck on that. That's just more wasted time and resources. Well, you're going to love this, folks. You're going to love this. You ready for this? You ready for this? The defense team for Juju Malema says that he should be let go because nobody filed a complaint about him firing live ammunition into the air. I'm sorry. So if you rape a woman and she doesn't complain, does that mean it wasn't rape? If you rob a bank and no one files a complaint that their money was taken, does that mean you didn't rob the bank? You should be let go? morons are these people? What kind of morons? This is the defense story. Is this Dolly and Pofu who's defending this guy? Oh, dear gosh. Stupid people should wear sides, man. Oh, my goodness. The defense in the firearm discharge case involving economic freedom fighters leader Juju Malema has argued that no one came forward to complain about the incident during the party's 2018 anniversary celebration. Advocate Shane Matthews, representing Malema's co-accused Adrian Sneyman, made this point during closing arguments at the East London Magistrates Court on Monday. I'm sorry. You can't make this stuff up, folks. This is comedy gold. This is comedy gold. Your Honor, with respect, nobody complained about my client recklessly firing a firearm into the air, endangering public safety. Therefore, you should just let him go. Oh, aidez-moi. Aidez-moi. Well, his white lawyer is pretty stupid. Oh, my goodness. With respect. So the next time a state trooper pulls me over, Mr. Wyatt, I clocked you going 95 in a 55 zone. Really? Nobody said anything to me. I mean, so you can let me go, right? Nobody complained I was driving that fast. I'm gonna use the Malema defense. I'm gonna use Malema defense. Exactly, Charles. You're right behind me there. You just typed it. I'm gonna go to court. The judge, Mr. Wyatt, the trooper clocked you 95 miles an hour in a 55 zone. What do you say for yourself? Well, Your Honor, nobody told me it was a problem. Nobody complained at how fast I was going, so I think you should let me go. Oh, dear God. Yeah. Well, you're right, because they reserved judgment. He's going to get off. Okay, here's the story. What the heck is the Patriotic Alliance's Kenny Kinane doing hanging out at an alleged killer's home? What's that all about? They went to arrest the killer, and who was there but Kenny Kinane? We need a gangster song, man. We need a gangster song. They weren't wearing their signs, exactly. Which of these songs is a gangster song? We got the Colonel, that was the one where... This is unbelievable. Let me find that one. We need to create a hip hop gangster song for these guys, man. We really, really got to do it. Where's the one? The Colonel, the news of my death is greatly exaggerated. Where's that one at? Let me find it. Come on. Oh my gosh, this guy shows. Yeah, the Colonel lives on. Let's go with that one. You ready? Here you go. Yeah, Kenny Kinane showing up at the house of DJ Somebody. The alleged killer. What's going on with the PA? Come on, my friends.
Y'all got it twisted. Rumors spread fast, but the truth, y'all missed it. Platinum hair shining, yeah, he's still here. Dropping facts on air, make the trolls disappear. Fake news flying, but the man's still alive. Burning lies down, watch the truth revive. Smacking down nonsense, sharper than a knife. Colonel Chris out here, living his best life. Fake news flying, but the man's still alive. Burning lies down, watch the truth revive. Smacking down nonsense, sharper than a knife. Colonel Chris out here, living his best life. Crash now, he cruising top down, no dent. Internet wild, but the truth's well spent. Smoking out the phonies, fire in his veins. Running through the static, breaking all chains. They tried to bury him, but forgot he's a seed. Roots run deep and he grows at speed. Microphone assassin, taking down schemes. Colonel Chris living in your nightmares and dreams. Perish, nah, he rebirthed on the mic. Spitting so raw, turn your dark to light. Platinum like his hair, shining in the storm. Fake news crumble, real truth reborn. Fake news flying, but the man's still alive. Burning lies down, watch the truth revive. Smacking down nonsense, sharper than a knife. Colonel Chris out here, living his best life. Fake news flying, but the man's still alive. Burning lies down, watch the truth revive. Smacking down nonsense, sharper than a knife. Colonel Chris out here, living his best life.
Oh yeah, Kenny Kinane showing up at the home of An alleged killer, DJ Somebody. Not DJ Silver Eagle, folks. It wasn't DJ Silver Eagle. Don't give me mistaken identity. Well, that's another song I could do. Mistaken Identity. Kenny Kanene. What's going on with the Patriotic Alliance, Gate McKenzie? Democratic Alliance in Joburg has called on the city of Johannesburg's MMC for Transport, Kenny Kanene, to resign after reports he was found at the home of alleged mastermind of DJ Somebody's murder, Kat Molefe. Oh, Katso, not Kat. Katso Molefe. Kunene has confirmed that he was at Molefe's house when police arrived to arrest the Santon businessman. News 24 reported Kunene is questioned by police on what he was doing at the scene, and he reportedly insisted that he accompanied a certain journalist from his media company. Oh, yeah. No, man. There's nothing to see here, man. No, I just come to do an interview with this man. He's been accused credibly of crime, murder, and we've come to interview him for my media company. In the words a certain musician, it wasn't me. Picture this, we were both butt naked there on the bathroom floor. It wasn't me. My girlfriend caught me creeping on the bathroom floor. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Oh my goodness. Police find Kenny Kanene at the home of the alleged murderer. Oh my goodness. Murder accused Katiso KT Molefe was arrested in his Santon home on Monday. Okay, first off, murder for hire suspects living where? Not in Alexandria. No, not in Shoshinguvwe, but in Santon. That tells you all you need to know about what's going on here. Mariki van Jasveld, thank you for your membership. Ave Burger, you can send it to the email address, okay? Gangster's Paradise. That's right. It's a gangster's paradise. Guys, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Primal Boar, less bullets were flying. I was always fun. Well, hey, check this one out. This gets better. You think that the number 2 in the Patriotic Alliance being found in the home of a suspected murder in Santon is just, not a big deal? Well, it gets better. SAPS police officers are arrested for stealing washing powder after a truck crashed. Oh my goodness. This is Wakandia on steroids, man. It's out of control in South Africa. Yep. 2 Limpopo-based police officers and a cleaner employed by the South African Police Service have been arrested following a joint investigation led by the Limpopo Provincial Anti-Crime Unit. The 3 SAPS employees stationed at Modomoli police station have been charged with theft and defeating the ends of justice. The arrest stemmed from an incident that occurred on the 14th of July at around 4:20 in the morning on the R101, approximately 10 kilometers outside of the town in the direction of Polokwane. Delivery truck transporting several pallets of washing powder reportedly lost control and veered off the road, causing some of its cargo to spill onto the roadside. While the driver attempted to secure the crash scene, several vehicles stopped and individuals began looting the washing powder. Shortly after, a marked SAPS vehicle arrived with the 2 police officers. Reports suggest the complainant pleaded with them to assist in stopping looting, but instead the officers allegedly joined in, loading a significant amount of washing powder in the SAPS vehicle before driving off. This reminds me of the ANC insurrection in July 2021 when police officers were pulling up and robbing people and stealing from the stores and looting. This is your police in South Africa. They bring shame to the rest of the police. Unbelievable. The police stole washing powder. Yeah. I mean, a country with no moral fiber is what you have in South Africa now. That isn't everyone, obviously, but it's insufficient to deter people from committing crime. Wow. Senzo Mkunu is innocent. I'm innocent. It wasn't me. Like Shaggy says, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Senzo Nkuna says, no, man, you got the wrong dude, man. It wasn't me. It was that other cat. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Senzo Nkunu. Yeah, he's still professing his innocence. He'll submit his response to Parliament ahead of... Is it just me or is he looking sadder now than before he got called out? He looks like an alien. Police Minister Senzo Mkuna has provided Parliament with his reply to allegations that he's linked to criminal syndicates. Well, let's see what happens there. Well, Ramaphosa had no choice but to fire Nkambane, says one analyst. Really? No. President Ramaphosa has no other choice but to fire Dr. Nobule Nkabane as the Minister of Higher Education following the appointments of ANC-allied individuals to the controversial CETA board, says a political analyst. Political analyst Professor Teo Neethling told IOL that Ramaphosa had little choice but to act after the Democratic Alliance laid criminal charge against Nkabane, accusing her of deliberately misleading Parliament. Well, the DA should continue through with those criminal charges and let her be prosecuted for it. Well, folks, the truth about your expiring driver's license in South Africa, and this is the truth, the government doesn't want to extend the validity of your licenses. Why? Because they won't make money. Now, think about that. Barbara Creasy, the committed communist in the ANC, who's your minister in the transport department, is worried about not taking money out of your pocket. Not worried about delivering services with valid driver's license to ensure safety on our roads, but making sure that they get money for the department. The Transport Department is still deciding whether to increase the validity period of driver license in South Africa from 5 to 8 years, as it's concerned about losing money from an extension. Transport Minister Barbara Creasy told MoneyWeb that although she is in favor of the extension, she has not made a decision due to its potential financial implications. The communist is more worried about money accruing to the state than she is about your safety on the road. Wow. Ibex, formerly known as Steinhoff, which I have on my Rugby Sevens jersey from Vegas from a few years ago, and then that story broke, but I still have my Steinhoff jersey. Ibex will sell off all of its Pepcor stake for $1.5 billion. Wow. Ibex Investment Holdings, formerly known as Steinhoff, sold its entire 28% stake in the clothing retailer Pepcor for $1.5 billion via an accelerated book building process, whatever the heck that means. Steinhoff changed its name to Ibex in 2023 as part of restructuring prompted by the 2017 accounting fraud that led to a stream of lawsuits and hefty losses. So, Pep is gone now, and Ackermans. Pep and Ackermans are gone. So I don't know who bought that 28% stake. Goodbye to the Green ID book. The Green Mamba ID book is going away because there's no biometrics in it. But it won't happen today. Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber has provided more details about his department's plan to expand access to the Smart ID card and eliminate the Green ID book. Due to the document's susceptibility to fraud and forgery, the department aims to cease production by the end of this financial year. Speaking on the Democratic Alliance's podcast, Schreiber said around 18 million people still use Green ID books. The department has issued nearly 30 million Smart IDs since 2013. In recent years, the annual issuing tally has stood at around 2.5 to 3 million. At that rate, replacing only the ID books currently in use will take another 6 years. 6 years. Interesting. Good luck with that. South Africans are in the danger zone. Apparently, most South Africans are spending more on debt than living. Many South Africans spend almost half their disposable income paying off debts, which finance experts say is unsustainable. Yes, it's a danger zone. The group said generally advises customers not to spend more than 30% of their take-home pay on debt repayments, 40% at most. Well, that's not a hard and fast rule because generally speaking, you are expected to spend as much as 35% of your income for rent or mortgage, for a combination. So when they're saying 40%, I don't know about that, but 40% of households spend more than 40% of their disposable income. Disposable income, that's a different story. Disposable income is much lower than income. All right. Well, the secret's out, folks. The next coach for the Bulls, anybody know who's going to coach the Bulls? Anybody know it? Well, it won't be Jake White. He's gone. Who is the next coach of the Bulls? Anybody know? Anybody know? It's not a big secret. We're not surprised. None other than Johan Ackerman. Yes, Johan Ackerman will be the Bulls coach. There you go, Arctic. His team is ready as he takes over for the Bulls. He says the team has talent. I believe we can play any style of rugby we want. Well, he's got a lot of work ahead of him. The Bulls have made it to 3 of the 4 URC finals in 4 seasons. Unfortunately, they lost to the Stormers. They lost to Glasgow, and they also lost to, was it Munster? No, Leinster, excuse me. No, it was a very easy choice. Johan Ackerman, good choice. We can play the traditional Bull style and be physical and have good set pieces, but we also have the quality to attack and play all the spaces. Yeah, you have Kane and Moody, and you're getting Curtly Arnsey back. You can definitely attack. Well, it's only been 15 years, and they're already rebuilding Moses Madiba Stadium in Durban. Yep. The iconic South African stadium is getting a $240 million facelift. I don't know what's iconic about it. I've never been able to go up the damn thing because the damn You can never go up to that arch because it's always broken. The city of Itaquini has requested an extension to the overhaul and refurbishment of Moses Madiba Stadium, which was initially set for completion by December this year. They announced a 240 million rand upgrade in October of last year, looking to expand the facilities within the stadium while also adding new tourist features and activities. Much larger viewing platform for visitors to capture the surrounding sites, as well as a zip line and walking areas. They say the refurbishment is going well. Really? Some of the enhanced features will be enhanced viewing platform with 6-degree larger floor area and cantilevered glass floor for the airwalk experience, a redesigned sky car with extended travel time and accessibility for individuals with disabilities. How about one that's just reliable? Upgrades to the big swing for improved access to the launch platform, a new zip line ending at People's Park for post-adventure refreshments, compression ring walk offering panoramic views, and sea-facing bungee jump options. Okay, there you go. These are artist renditions of what the lights will look like. So I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. The refurbishment's been going on for some time. I got a crappy photo when I was there last time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this question. Why does the Independent Online report what the Chinese president is doing in Nigeria? It's not South Africa. It's not China. Why is the IOL Iqbal Survey's publication so slavishly devoted to reporting the news from China? President Xi extends condolences over the passing of former Nigerian President Buhari from the Chinese Global Network. Chinese President Xi Jinping on Wednesday sent a message of condolence to Nigerian President Tinubu over the death of former President Buhari. On behalf of the Chinese government people, I don't care about the Chinese government, and South Africans don't care either. I mean, unless China's doing something that affects the world, but this is just stupid. Israel says the 28 countries who signed the call for the war to end in Gaza are disconnected from reality. The statement, backed by a raft of European nations as well as Australia, Canada, and Japan, pushed for a negotiated ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. The foreign ministers of 28 countries said that suffering of civilians in Gaza has reached new depths and labeled the Israeli government's model for delivering aid as dangerous. We condemn the drip feeding of aid and inhumane killing of civilians, including children, seeking to meet the most basic needs of water and food. The British Foreign Secretary David Lammy from the leftist government of Labour said that the horror in Gaza must end. Hamas must end. Saudi prince who was involved in a car accident as a military cadet in London back in, when he was 15, has died. Prince Khalid repeatedly rejected advice to withdraw life support that was keeping his son alive for 20 years in a coma. Saudi Arabian Prince Al-Walid bin Khalid Al Saud died Saturday, 20 years after a car crash in London left him in a coma. His father, Prince Khalid bin Talil Al Saud, announced the death in a message on social media. He was just 36 years old. With hearts that believe in Allah's decree and destiny, and with deep sorrow and grief, we mourn our beloved son, Prince Al-Walid bin Khalid bin Talil bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud. May Allah have mercy on him, who passed away today, and return to the mercy of Allah. Yeah, truly we belong to God, and to him we shall return. There will be 3 days of mourning for the prince's passing. Philippines President Marcos is meeting with Trump for trade talks. Look at that. Head of state coming over. Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos will meet with President Trump at the White House on Tuesday for bilateral talks focused on security and trade. My visit to Washington, D.C., and the most importantly, my meeting with President Trump is essential to continue to advance our national interest and strengthen our alliance. Meanwhile, the South African delegation went to China. Not to the United States. Not to the United States. So the Philippines is here. The Philippines is here. Negotiating trade. But South Africa is not. Just days away from the tariffs. South Africa is still not here. Nobody's here negotiating trade deals.
Promises written in the shifting cloud. Ramaphosa and his crew playing cool, but the game ain't new, it's a crooked rule. Gaslight flickers in the city glow. What's the deal? Nobody knows.
South African skies burn as they take 90 days squandered and wasted, and an extra 30 days tacked on for good measure, wasted. Philippines president is in the United States to talk to Trump. Where's Ramaphosa? Where's Ramaphosa? Where is Nkabisi Jonas? Not welcome, apparently. Where is Ronnie Lamola, John Steenhuisen, Parks Tao? Not here. Busy with the Chi-Coms. Busy with the Chi-Coms. Oops, he did it again. Yep. Well, Zelensky's government is trying to halt those stopping corruption. What did I tell you? Yes, Ramaphosa's at Pala Pala digging through his sofa right now. Ukraine's president ran on a promise to clean things up, which is bogus. He's corrupt as the day is long. But critics say his government is cracking down on anti-corruption activists, critics, and agencies. Volodymyr Zelensky was elected president in 2019, partly on a promise to root out systemic corruption. But critics say his government is trying to undermine some of Ukraine's most important anti-corruption organizations as they pursue investigations into his administration. Of course. Of course. Well, that stranded UK F-35 stealth fighter jet that landed in India has finally taken off a month after it got stuck there. RAF F-35 Bravo fighter jet stuck for over a month in Kerala due to technical issues finally took off after repairs by UK engineers. It had been stuck at an airport in southern India for more than a month, sparking memes on social media. One of the world's most advanced stealth fighter jets with a price tag of 100 million euros was grounded. The aircraft had hydraulic issues and problems with its auxiliary power unit, which were eventually fixed. Well, you need the APU, especially when you're sitting on a ramp. You need that APU, folks. Anyway, wow. Österreich, Austria is preparing to defend itself. Not since the First World War and the Austro-Hungarian Empire has Austria cared about defending itself. After the Anschluss, the annexation by the Nazis in 1938, of course, they participated in the Second World War, but they were famously neutered, castrated in post-war in an agreement that led to Austria no longer being split amongst four powers like Germany was, and the Soviets, the Brits, the French, the Americans evacuating Austria in 1955, 10 years after the war, and it guaranteed a neutrality. Well, now they want to arm themselves, fearing Russia. Historically neutral, the country is set to double military spending, even though there's no money in the budget. Österreich government said they will make good on pledges to double military budget over the next 7 years, according to their chancellor. The latest example of a newly unsettled global outlook driving a boom in defense spending in Europe. The chancellor, Christian Stocker, who took office in March and is a member of the center-right Austrian People's Party, told the New York Times in an interview in Vienna on Monday that the historically neutral Alpine nation must respond to growing threats and uncertainties. That means reversing decades-long trend in shrinking military budgets as a share of the economy. Well, there you go. There you go. Österreich is on the move. AstraZeneca will invest 50 billion smackaroos in the United States. The British pharmaceutical giant AstraZeneca will invest in the U.S. economy. And all I do is win, 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 no matter what. My hands go up and they stay there, says Donald Trump. Another win, another win, another win. Well, the tariffs are looming, folks. It's the 22nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 30, 1 August. 10 days and the clock is ticking and the world is waiting. Well, some of the angst has disappeared. Economists see calm before the storm. Trump's tariffs have had limited impact on the global economy so far, but analysts fear the worst is yet to come. Well, yeah, because basically most items are just 10% globally. Now it's going to be 30, 40, 50% for some countries. Canada gets 35%. Well, the Trump administration announces we're pulling back out of UNESCO, United Nations Cultural Scientific Organization. We're leaving UNESCO because of its woke-tard policies. The United States said Tuesday that it would withdraw from UNESCO, the United Nations Cultural Organization, the latest move by the Trump administration to cut ties with international institutions. The U.S. previously pulled out during Mr. Trump's first term, citing what it called the organization's anti-Israeli bias. Yep, well, we are leaving again 2 years after we rejoin. Senators are weighing canceling the August recess of Congress so that they can confirm Trump's nominees. Excuse me. They're trying to raise money for politics. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that. You didn't see that. I was off camera. Senators weighing canceling August recess to confirm Trump's nominees. Well, that would include the ambassador to South Africa, most likely, Brent Bozell. Yeah. In a Truth Social Person of the Weekend, Trump wrote, hopefully the very talented John Thune, fresh off many victories over the past 2 weeks and indeed 6 months, will cancel August recess in order to get my incredible nominees confirmed. We need them badly. Yeah, we do. We do. So, will Congress take vacation? Trump doesn't want to take vacation, wants them to earn their money. Mike Johnson is pulled back on the Epstein disclosure. Yeah, look at this. Everybody's backing off now, except the right-wingers. Republican Speaker of the House said last week that the government should release everything. But now he's turned his back on that. Speaker Mike Johnson said yesterday that he would not hold the House vote this summer on whether the Justice Department should release files related to Epstein, retreating from his demand last week that the material must come out. Reacting to intense pressure from angry MAGA base, Mr. Johnson had on Tuesday showed a rare glimpse of daylight between himself and Mr. Trump, who was imploring his supporters to move on from the matter. Yes, but now he's back down. Interesting. Now more conspiracies will come about. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, says we need to ease the banking rules. They are unrealistic. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent urged bank regulators to review outdated capital requirements that place unnecessary burdens on financial institutions. In fact, they do. Because of bank failures and because of money scams that took place a number of years ago, they changed the laws and forced banks to have a much higher percentage of deposits on hand in actual cash, upping that to a pretty high level. It used to be as low as 4%. I think in some cases they bumped up to 20%, and that's a problem. UNESCO is part of the United Nations. It's one of its bureaus. Coca-Cola has confirmed what Donald Trump said. They are going to make cane sugar Coke. Yes! And I'm excited. Just don't put it in plastic, folks. The beverage maker will roll out a new option in the fall while retaining high fructose corn syrup. Well, you can keep that crap. I will be buying cane sugar. Coca-Cola is giving President Trump what he wants. Coke sweetened with cane sugar. The soda giant plans to add a line of cane sugar sweetened Coke. Yep. Real cane sugar. This is really an and strategy and not an or strategy, said CEO James Quincy. We're going to continue to use a lot of the corn syrup that we do now, but don't put it in my Coke. The Atlanta beverage maker said it now expects adjusted earnings per share to rise 3% for the year instead of 2% as it previously projected. The growth includes a 5% headwind from foreign currency translation. The company said it was previously guiding for a 5 to 6% headwind. Quincy said Coca-Cola has been adding cane sugar to a number of its products in recent years, including lemonades and teas. Obviously, the president has been enthusiastic and dedicated supporter and lover of the brand, so I think we heard that he was excited and we love that. While U.S. sugar consumption outstrips domestically produced cane sugar, Coca-Cola has enough to launch the line. Yes. Coca-Cola posted $3.81 billion, or 88 cents a share of profit in the most recent quarter. Quarter. All things being equal, that means they have excess of $10 to $12 billion a year in profit. The United States will deport permanent residents with green cards who are aiding the Haitian terror group Vive Ensemble. U.S. government will deport lawfully permanent residents accused of aiding or collaborating with leaders of the Haitian gang Vive Ensemble. It's a coalition of criminal gangs operating in Port-au-Prince. It was designated a foreign terrorist organization by the United States on May 2nd. Rubio said the group had fueled instability in Haiti, and these people will be deported. Good. Well, this is an odd situation. The Senate has put legislation out there sponsored by John Fetterman, my senator. Senator Hoodie. And he says that they need to pass a piece of legislation so that people accept cash. But I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that concept, folks. That's already the law of the land. That's already the law of the land. So they're saying they must put a bill in place. A bipartisan Senate duo is publishing legislation that would require brick and mortar businesses to accept cash payments from customers, saying paper money remains legal tender, despite general transition to electronic payments. Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania and Kevin Kramer of North Dakota said Americans should be able to choose which form of payment they use and should not face surcharge from places that prefer credit cards. It's simple. If you're open for business in America, you should take U.S. dollars. We have millions of people in this country who don't have access to bank accounts, and they must be able to go shopping with their hard-earned dollars. It's generally legal for businesses to refuse cash. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It says right here on this note, right here, it says, this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. You must accept this, or you cannot do business in America. I'm sorry, Washington Times. The note says it right on there. All debts, public and private. It's legal tender. You must accept it. I don't know why we need legislation, but hey, fine. Put legislation in there. A one-time piece of legislation I agree with. General Motors profits sank. Oh, the government Motors Corporation profits sank. What a tragedy. That's what you get, you bastards, for shipping our industrial production overseas. Yeah. It's one thing to buy Opel and own Opel. That's fine. That's a subsidiary, but they sold it. It's another to offshore your manufacture cars for the American market, bearing the Chevrolet, the Buick, and the Oldsmobile bonnet marquees. General Motors was the second auto company this week after Stellantis to show the toll of Trump's trade policies. General Motors said on Tuesday its profit in the second quarter fell by more than a third after President Trump's tariffs cost the company more than $1 billion. Automakers are an important pillar of the U.S. economy, and industry employs about 1 million manufacturing workers. Eroding profits will make it harder for them to invest in new technologies to withstand the growing competition from China. No. If you bastards had built your plants in America, you wouldn't have to worry about that. American-made cars don't face tariffs. General Motors, government motors, fascist, treasonous betrayers. Wall Street Journal also reports a $1.1 billion tariff hit. Well, good. Maybe you'll learn to build cars in America. They beat analysts' expectations despite having that loss. In a letter to shareholders, Chief Executive Mary Barra said GM is positioning the business for a profitable long-term future as we adapt to new trade and tax policies and a rapidly evolving landscape. Oh, so you mean you're going to build cars in America? Ladies and gentlemen, sad news for those who are fans of Theo Huxtable and The Cosby Show. Malcolm Jamal Warner, on vacation in Costa Rica, drowned yesterday at the age of 54. Malcolm Jamal Warner, the actor who played teenage son Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, has died at age 54 in an accidental drowning in Costa Rica. Costa Rica's Judicial Investigation Department said Monday that Warner drowned Sunday afternoon on a beach in Costa Rica's Caribbean coast. He was swimming at Playa Cocles in Limon province when a current pulled him deeper into the ocean. He was rescued by people on the beach, but they found him without vital signs and was taken to the morgue. He created many TV moments etched in the memories of Generation X, children and their parents, including a pilot episode argument with Bill Cosby's Cliff Huxtable about money and an ear piercing he tried to hide from his father. His Theo was the only son among 4 daughters in the household of Cliff Huxtable and Felicia Rashad's Claire Huxtable on the sitcom. He would be one of the prime representations of American teenage boyhood on a show that was most popular for America for much of its run from 1984 to 1992. He played the role for 8 seasons and all 197 episodes. He won an Emmy nomination for supporting actor in 1986. For many, the lasting image of the character and of Warner is of him wearing a badly botched mock designer shirt sewed by his sister Denise, played by Lisa Bonet. He later appeared in the sitcom Malcolm and Eddie, co-starring with Eddie Griffin on the UPN network from 1996-2000. In 2010s, he starred opposite Tracy Ellis Ross and a family blending couple for 2 seasons on The Road Between the Lines. He played a role as O.J. Simpson's friend Al Cowlings in The American Crime Story and was a series regular on Fox as The Resident. Dead at 54, Malcolm Jamal Warner. That's sad. That's sad, folks. Very sad. And the story that one of my viewers broke earlier, the MK party has put forward the motion of no confidence in President Ramaphosa. Mkoto Wisizwe Party in Parliament has filed a motion of no confidence against Ramaphosa in protest against his decision not to ask Police Commissioner Senzo Kunu. Well, it's now been 4 hours. Let's see if Cockprot 24 can bother to cover this story. I'm going now to Cockprot 24, and you'll see that it's not listed as a top story. That should be the top story in the country. Cockprot 24 does not mention it in the lead. You see that? Let's go to the Times Live and see if the Times Live covers that. And we'll do the IOL as well. And we'll see if these publications. Nope. Times Live doesn't mention it. They're covering up the fact that MK has put in a motion of no confidence. An event that happened now over 4 hours ago. IOL has done it. There you go. IOL was the first major media outlet to actually put it on their website. Well done, IOL. Motion no confidence against Ramaphosa. Well, there you go. There you go. IOL got it. Took 4 hours. So now what happens? Well, they'll have a vote. They won't get enough votes, and Ramaphosa will survive because the DA will cover him. Yeah, I think we all watched that series. Minister of Higher Education was fired. Yeah, that was yesterday. We covered that, Loretta. The DA will save Ramaphosa. Yep. Yep. Leon Schreiber confirmed that naturalized citizens couldn't apply for Smart ID. Why? Why is that? That's ridiculous. Don't be roof kikers. Yeah. Don't just stare. Hit the like button. Yeah, I will be waiting for proper Coke too. You can get proper Coke in South Africa, can't you? But in America, you can't. Andres says, just saw your frustrated video. No, we're not frustrated. We were scared because we were white targets. Just glad to wake up alive in the morning. No, Andres, the person who posted the thing is frustrated. I just had to come up with a title that would get people's attention so that people would actually watch the video. Thank you for watching it, Andres. Yeah, well, you're not the only ones to target. Colored folks and Indian folks are targets too, and they're also eligible for the program. DJ Silver Eagle. Rama will not send anyone. They're up to something. Yeah, I'm sure they are up to something. Austrian troops will be mainly Turkish, says Russell. Trump did a live press briefing with President of the Philippines earlier. Very interesting. Some of the questions from media. Okay, I didn't see it. Can't the USA charge Squirrel with money laundering? No, we can't. There's more dollars stored abroad in people's possession than there are actual dollars in circulation in America. That's how ubiquitous the dollar is. That's why when you hear the BRICS say, we are going to replace the dollar with the BRICS currency, you just have to sit there and laugh at them. You have to laugh at them. Can we listen to your AI music on YouTube Music? Yeah, you can. You go on Mr. T, you search for DJ Silver Eagle. Let me go find that. YouTube. It's a watch channel, which is something YouTube automatically generates so you can listen to it. So hang on a second here. Give me a second here. DJ Silver Eagle. Okay, and I'll show you. We'll give you the link to it. Okay. Skeeter season's already on there. I just posted that one. Yep, so here's the link to that channel. It's called a topic channel, not a watch channel. So there you go. There's the topic channel right there. They automatically put up 82 subscribers, 26 songs uploaded to it. You can go there and watch it. Yep. So the Skeeter season songs are right there. Got to get going. South Africa, that one there. And yeah, well, I wonder if I get a cut of the money they get for playing that because I'm supposed to get revenue from YouTube Music.
Zuid-Afrika, mijn geboorteplek, mijn toeiste van zeepont tot Margate. En Punta tussenin, ons is liever ons prachtige thee. Waar ons harten volwassen geword heeft, maar tijd in ons gedraaid. En de steeds om te gaan. Zuid-Afrika, mijn geboorteplek, mijn thuiste van zeepont tot Margate. En Punta tussenin, ons is liever ons prachtige thee. Waar ons harten volwassen geword heeft, maar tijd in ons gedraaid. En de steeds om te gaan.
And there it is, folks. That's DJ Silver Eagle on YouTube. There you go. So that's the channel, and I put the link in there, DJ Silver Eagle. It's called a topic channel. All right, at 82 subscribers. So you can check that out if you'd like. Okay, and that's the link. Cena has been busy doing another shorts. What else? Cyril's looking for his white minister. He is. The DA leader and agriculture minister said that his party would support the appropriation bill on Wednesday as the national looks to finally put the national budget to bed. Well, we'll see. All right. Kenneth Yosuke, I already got that. And what am I missing here? So there you go. So that's the channel. People were asking for it. You can buy full sugar Coke in 1 liter bottles, but bigger than that, it's reduced sugar. Oh, that's in South Africa. That's because of your sugar tax. That's why. Way too short. Yes, Rakes, I just did it off the cuff. I mean, I'm not that proficient at writing Afrikaans, so I came up with some lyrics real quick. In my poor Afrikaans, did a spell check on it and grammar check, and it quickly came back and made a couple corrections, and then I loaded that up. It's only about a minute and a half, yeah. I've got the lyrics. I'll try to make it longer at some point, but it'll come out differently. Yep. Cool. All right. What else? Spot on. Anyway, there you go, folks. What's congratulations for, Estelle? My local Spar stocks USA Coke at 25 Rand a can. It tastes like chemicals and bland. Our Coke Classic does taste weird. Well, Rory, so I wouldn't recommend buying the canned Coke from America. I mean, I drink it out of desperation and rarely. But the Mexican cane sugar stuff, which has gone from $17 a case for 24 bottles to $38 a case in 2 years, I just don't buy it anymore. And they rarely have it. They rarely have. The supply chain is all messed up. I understand how some people can still feel welcome in this country. Some colonizers are welcome or oppose this country. The rich, powerful. Rex, I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking about. Anyway, so that's DJ Silver Eagle, folks. You can find that. Anybody subscribe? Let me see. 82, 99. Woo! We're almost in triple digits on the topic channel. There you go. Wow, that was big. Some people jumped over there. Thank you for that. So beautiful. You did excellent, Chris. Yes, it's tied. It's sad but true. Country of birth is no longer safe, and the powers that be don't want us. For your music on YouTube. Oh, thank you, Estelle. Yeah, well, my music's on Apple Store. It's on Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Let me go to Amazon. Come on. Amazon. DJ Silver Eagle. DJ Silver Eagle. Here you go. So you go to Amazon. You can hear a sample of it. Whoops, that's not what I want. I want this screen. Here you go. So here's on Amazon. I don't know why it listed twice, but Heart of a Nation Slipping Away. You can do a quick sample. Or you can buy the MP3 for 99 cents. It's downloading it now. Heart of a Nation Slipping Away.
The streets are burning, skies full of smoke. Farmers fight for life, hearts nearly broke. The crops are failing, the rivers run dry, and the people ask, how long must we cry? Will Ramaphosa stand or take the fall? The vote of no confidence, a rallying call. Save South Africa, we can't delay. The heart of the nation is slipping away. Corruption's a shadow that darkens the land, stealing from the people with a greedy hand. The workers are hungry, the wages are thin, and justice feels like,
wow, it's supposed to be a sample, but it's a whole damn song.
Will Ramaphosa stand or take the fall? The vote of no confidence, a rallying call. Save South Africa, we can't delay. The heart of the nation is slipping away. The children are crying, their future unclear, but the strength of the people will persevere. Through the ashes and the lies, we'll find our way. A brighter tomorrow begins today. The fields will grow green, the skies will turn blue, when leaders are honest and the hearts are true. Together we rise, united and strong. This is our fight, where we all belong.
So that's on Amazon. I got to listen to the whole thing. I didn't realize would play the whole thing. Before it just gave me a sample, you know. So yeah, you can buy that on Amazon. You can buy it on iTunes Store. It's on Weezer. It's on 26 or 28 different services online. So yeah. If I get up to say 50 songs, folks, I think what I'll do is I'll do a radio program. You know, I'll do a recording, just like I'm in a studio, and we'll play the songs. We'll talk about them and give the background for it, and we'll go through and play all the songs. Yeah. We'll mix the songs. So yeah, I mean, we got quite a repertoire now. We're up to 26 songs that I've loaded up, and not all of them have been loaded. There's a few that could still be loaded. So anyway. Hey, Eric is here. I didn't see Erica. Paul von Norvik is waiting for me to play a song he sent. When did you send me the song, and how did you send it to me, Paul? Chris, thank you for all your help and information. We really appreciate everything you do. Well, Sinette and Chris Myberg, thank you so much. It's my pleasure. Okay. 100 subscribers on that channel. Well, it's not me, but thank you for subscribing. It's not me, folks. That's YouTube. YouTube for artists automatically generates those topic channels, and the topic channel is supposed to generate revenue for the content creator. I don't know if it's the same breakdown, how it works, but yeah. So that's interesting. That's kind of a roundabout way to make money from YouTube without being on YouTube. If you're an artist, you have a music distributor like I do, then they distribute your music, and then they're supposed to pay you from it. So we'll see. If any money comes from it, it's going to be a long time before we get to it. So we'll see how it happens. Emma Powell was on National Security News podcast and is trying. Well, I've covered that, Renee. I've got videos, several videos on what they're doing to Emma Powell. She hasn't come back on the program, so yeah. And Estelle listens to it on Spotify. Well, that's great. On Spotify, we've got how many folks now? Let me go to Spotify. DJ Silver Eagle has, hang on. It's not what I want. 260 subscribers now. So here's the link to go to DJ Silver Eagle. If you want to join there on Spotify. I know a lot of people listen to Spotify. I'm not sure how it got so big. No pro or anti Spotify stuff. Just never, I don't understand how it got so big. We had other stuff that was out there before it. Yep. All right. So cool. Cannot resurrect a dead horse. So sad that was once a beautiful country, now a disaster. Yeah, radio program. Then we could play our own note for note. Yeah, we could do that, Madeline. We wouldn't have to worry about copyright strikes because it's my music. It's my music because I pay for it and produce it with my subscription. Yep, Budgie's just started chirping along with your song. Well, that's cool. Your channel's now 120. Wow. Okay. Can anyone please share the link to Colonel's video with motivation for refugee status? Motivation for refugee status. Which video are you talking about? You talking about the one I did this morning? It's Frustration Mounts. That one's got 2,600 views while we've been live. Actually, 5,000 views. Wow. It's at the top end. 4,000 last hour. That's cool. Hopefully people are finding it. A lot of comments on that. Thanks, Chris. So true. Okay, look, not ungrateful at all. I can understand people getting frustrated. It's not a wait and hope offer. It was a full invitation from President Trump to anyone, regardless of which manner they're being oppressed. Now the gears seem to be locked up yet. I think I understand that certainty. It was not a full invitation. No. You hear what you want to hear. People hear what they want to hear. They hear what they want to hear. They hear what they want to hear. We have the executive order. I've read it. I'll go back there and read it. Yep, it wasn't a full invitation. I'll be very clear about that. In fact, it's been elaborated on and it's been extended since that date. So let's just go back to that. Let's go back to the president's executive actions back in February. They have a search button now, thankfully, because they got too many damn executive orders. Egregious actions. So, by authority, yada, 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 yada. In shocking disregard of its citizens' rights, the Republic of South Africa has recently enacted Expropriation Act of 2024 to enable the government of South Africa to seize ethnic minority Afrikaners' agricultural property without compensation. This act follows countless government policies designed to dismantle equal opportunity in employment, education, and business, and hateful rhetoric and government actions fueling disproportionate violence against racially disfavored landowners. In addition, South Africa has taken aggressive positions towards the United States and its allies, including accusing Israel, but not Hamas, of genocide in the International Court of Justice, and reinvigorating its relations with Iran to develop commercial, military, and nuclear arrangements. The United States cannot support the government of South Africa's commission of rights violations in its country or its undermining the United States foreign policy, which poses national security threats to our nation, our allies, our African partners, and our interests. It's the policy of the United States for as long as South Africa continues these unjust and immoral practices that harm our nation, the United States shall not provide aid or assistance to South Africans. Action number 1. And the United States shall promote the resettlement of Afrikaner refugees escaping government-sponsored race-based discrimination, including racially discriminatory property confiscation. The United States shall promote the resettlement. That's not a full-on offer of anything. That's not a full offer. Donald Trump did not say, we will resettle all Afrikaners to America in the next 90 days if they want to come here. No, I'm sorry. I'm reading the comment on my video. You're wrong, the person who posted that. It wasn't a full-on offer. You heard what you wanted to hear. But you wanted to hear something, you heard it. That's not what Trump said. All right. Yeah, so video. Thank you, Trump. Very bad move. Thank most USA. What happened to the American indigenous peoples? Yeah, well. Yep, responding to a stupid comment here. Patience, apologize for impatient people. There's no call coming, people. We're so happy to have you here with us. Dream on. Stupid comments here, folks. Sorry, just a lot of stupid. I'm reading these comments. Yep. Trying to make it clear. So, Chris, I'm so glad you're trying to make it clear. I left South Africa because of a number of reasons. One being my building got burnt down, losing my business process. My life was threatened. If this program was available, then I would have applied. But as I'm not in South Africa at the moment, it's not possible. Thank you again for explaining over and over again what the requirements are. You're very welcome. Thank you for that, Buzzy. Boy, my typing is really bad. At least it's recognizing what I was trying to write. Anyway. As always, the truth hurts. Points of contact. So someone responded to this and they said, we just wish we had a point of contact. I mean, folks, think about this for a moment. You want a point of contact to contact a group of a dozen, maybe, people working on this. 70 to 150,000 people want a point of contact. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to dial the number, and then you're going to bitch and moan, it's busy, and they never answer the phone. It's busy, they never answer the phone. It's busy, they never answer the phone. Well, yeah, because 150,000 people are calling them because you guys are impatient. No, sorry. Can you imagine 150,000 people calling a number? You'd melt down the switchboard. It's insane. Absolutely. People don't think through the things that they say. Thanks, Chris. Admire your patience. Yeah, thank you. You're very welcome. Imagine some people think they're entitled. Sad but not impatient. People submit a statement of interest 1 month after we've been contacted and soon to fly out. It's disheartening, especially. I'm sad and not impatient. People who submit a statement of interest 1 month after me have been contacted and are soon to fly out. It's disheartening, especially when they have or had a better life than most here. No, it's just the way things go. Whether you had a good life or bad life isn't the issue. Again, people need to stop conflating things. This is not about farmers. It's not about white folks. It's not about crime. It's about unjust racial discrimination. Just because somebody has a better situation than you, maybe you live in an informal settlement, maybe you live in a place where you don't have a job, maybe you're rich. None of that matters. You're not special. You don't get more favor because of your circumstances. I don't understand why this doesn't get through people's heads. It doesn't give you advantage. It doesn't make you special. You're just the same, whether you're Rob Hersoff or you're in a squatter camp in Pretoria. You're the same. The fact that someone else put a statement of interest in after you and got called ahead of you and their life is better than yours, well, apparently in the viewpoint of the official who looked at the case, they are suffering from unjust racial discrimination and they were processed ahead of you. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry. That's not my fault, but I'm sorry to hear your circumstances, but it's not disheartening. I'm sorry that happened, but that's life, folks. That's life. You know, again, I find this not hysterical, but strange that people who tolerate a country having one driver's license machine, one, and people who drive around illegally without driver's license are complaining about a process that normally takes 3 years. 3 years to do this normally. Normally takes 3 years. And someone is writing in my video, well, I'm disheartened because someone posted a month after me and they're gone already. Why don't you feel happy for those people they got out? Why don't you be happy for them? Yeah, so you think you're special. That's a song, So You Think You're Special. Oh, that'll piss some people off. So You Think You're Special. That's a good title, man. DJ So Regal's going to get to it. So You Think You're Special. That's good. That's a new song. I'm going to have to make that one. Wow. Louis, stop with the silly comment. Obviously, I just picked a name people recognize. You want me to make up a name like Edwin Fondameva? Come on. Okay, I don't want to hear the Refugees program as a process. I believe in rainbows and unicorns. Bitter Ernest says, welcome to the real world. People don't understand the PI Act and how the law does not protect you. So you think you're special. Yep. Geduld, Mensa. Yep. Dit is wat dit is. Geduld, Mensa. Und wach och. Yeah, right, Daniel Kalk. Spot on, brother. Mad Max. Most South Africans have never seen the outside of South Africa. Yeah, I know. I mean, the percentage of South Africans that don't have a passport shocks me. Shocks me. It's like you're living in Bangladesh. The number of South Africans that have never been outside their home province are shocking. But I get condescending comments from the glitterati in South Africa. Americans are stupid. Americans don't know geography. Americans have never been anywhere. Americans don't speak languages. Do you know that over 80 million Americans speak a second language? Over 80 million Americans. Yeah. 80 million. And no, they're not all Spanish. Time and patience. The wheels of the U.S. government turn slowly. Eventually you will be called. No, where am I? Thank you, Francis Ruiz, for stating the obvious. Nowhere in your statement of interest do you state your situation. So again, that's an unfortunate posting. You're saddened because they have a better life than you. Well, the people pulling those files and reviewing it and contacting those people don't know that they have a better life than you do. Thank you, Francis, for spelling it out. I should have done that. Yeah, it's a very good point there. I'm going to steal that, Francis. I'm going to steal that point. I've mentioned it before, but you've brought it up now, so I'll give you credit for it, Francis. Francis Rose, she's right. They don't know. Spit out. The computer tells them, check out this case. Well, they don't know that, you've been robbed, your spouse was murdered, because you were raped because you were white, you lost a job because you're colored, you were denied a contract because you're Indian. They don't know that until they interview you. Vander Fundamental says, thanks for the mention. You're welcome, Vander. It took friends of ours 3 years. Yeah, exactly, Elsie. But this isn't immigration, it's refugee. It takes longer for refugee status. What happened with Richard? It's the idiots who think they're special and look down on other people escaping who are the same fools sending multiple applications and will likely be left behind for pissing people off. Very good chance of that, Danielle Whitfield. What happened to Richard? Heinrich Havanga, what's going on, man? Would it be possible to have follow-up interviews with... Yes, it is. You missed it, Tom Potgieter. I'm waiting to hear back from Charles. That will not be a follow-up interview. That will be a first interview. Charles and I have been in contact since he came to the States. And Charles told me yesterday that he would check on his Thursday. We're looking at trying to do a Thursday interview with Charles on the program. He is, of course, known. People know Charles Kleinhals is because he's done interviews with the BBC and others. But I've never interviewed Charles because he was busy doing all these other interviews. And the people who people knew about, I did later. I did Earl Langdon later, and that was the most recent one, and we'll do this one. Thea has not answered my email or my message, and I've lost contact with a couple of the refugees because they've turned off their South African numbers, and I didn't have a U.S. number for a couple of them. So some of these people have just gone quiet. Others I'm not in touch with anymore. So, yep. So anyway. What's going on here? Somebody's upset about the Amerikaners? All right, so someone sent me this message saying that the South African Chamber of Commerce USA was handling South African interests at the beginning. No, they weren't. They never were. That's a misstatement. People hearing what they want to hear. To show the U.S. their interest figures on their website, and some people thought that by filling in their form on their website was the original statement of interest. It's not. I tell you what, my empathy at this point, if you don't know who Chris Wyatt is and you've never heard of this channel, and you're not subscribed to my channel, my empathy is diminishing by the day, folks. How many broadcasts do I have to do to tell people what's going on? How many dozens of videos do I have to produce that have been correct the whole time? How many times do I have to get this right from February 7th before people start listening? Anybody that went to the South African Chamber of Commerce or to the Amerikaners and filled something out and thinks that that's a statement of interest, you are not paying attention. And you deserve your fate, whatever your fate may be, good or bad. That's on you. There's one place to go. There's always been one place to go to submit information. One place, za.usembassy.gov. Case closed. Done and dusted. Finished and klar. Nix 9 yet Nevada, Bahnhof. Nix mehr. That's it. That's it. I don't know what to tell people, man. They can't listen. They want to hear what they want to hear. They want to hear what they want to hear. Okay, so there we go. If you sent your details, you still need some. And I said that, Conrad Hedenhuis, I said that from the outset. Let's go back and see. Let's go back to May 12th, okay? Let me do that, okay? May 12th, okay? I'm going to have to do it this way because I got a lot of videos. It's going to take a few minutes here, or a few moments anyway. So that's June 25th. Okay, not too far. Okay, June 16th. That's 60 videos, 90 videos back to June 3rd. 90 videos since June 3rd. Prepared videos. These aren't even live streams. All right, May 25th. That's 120 videos. May 20th. Now we're going to get back to about May 12th. May 12th. Here we go. Here we go. 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Let's hear what Chris had to say on that date. No editing. Let's just see what I said. Okay? May 12th. Okay? Here we go. Sitting in Wimpy at OR Tambo.
Good morning from OR Tambo in Johannesburg, folks. It's on like Donkey Kong. And it looks like I was correct in my assessment all along with the refugee resettlement program, the refugee status that President Trump is generously granting to those suffering from racial discrimination in South Africa. The U.S. Embassy website has announced the program, and you send a statement of intent. You can go to the U.S. Embassy website. I'll make the link available after I get this uploaded. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are an Afrikaner, a South African, and you can also be an ethnic minority. Ethnic minority now qualifies for this program. Once again, the refugee resettlement program is on, and it didn't take long to announce it. They haven't even touched down in the United States. The proof of concept group is almost in the United States right now. They're probably about on the ground or close to being on the ground, 12, 14-hour flight. The charter flight that they took out of here last night, they should be hitting the ground and having a press conference. This is real. It's on. It's not fake. All of you liars, all you hucksters, all you shysters, all you people who lied to everyone, you know, shame on you. Shame on you. It's on. And thankfully for other ethnic minorities in South Africa, this could qualify as many as 6 to 8 million coloreds, 1.3 million Indians, even some black South Africans potentially, and all of the 2.8 million white Afrikaners, plus 2 million other white South Africans. The floodgates may be opening up now. If you have an interest, you need to go to the U.S. Embassy website in South Africa on the internet, and there's a statement of intent or interest. Get into it, folks. Check it out. Now, once again, this is a tragic and horrific day for South Africa. My heart is broken to see South Africans leaving the country, but this is your golden ticket. Willy Wonka couldn't have done you better than Donald Trump has done. If you want to escape the crime, the collapsing infrastructure, the racial discrimination, the bile, the hatred, here's your opportunity. I would hope that most people don't have to leave South Africa, but some will definitely leave under this program. And while the government of South Africa disputes that there's a need for this, that's their prerogative. When large numbers of people try to flee, that will be the statement that tells people what's really going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, from OR Tambo, this is Chris. All the best. Good morning from
2 minutes, 16 seconds, 80,000 views 2 months ago, and everything I said was correct, except I called a statement of intent, but I corrected myself because I was trying to get it out. That was one of my viewers told me that had just come up. I went and verified on the website that was the case. And then we have people saying, but I've applied. Now, this was the follow-up, 1 minute, 23 seconds to that. So I did this also at OR Tambo just moments later, and this is standing. I got up out of Wimpy and did this one. So here you go.
Hey, folks, welcome back once again to OR Tambo. This is Chris. If you're receiving an email that's coming from the U.S. Embassy and it's a ZA U.S. Embassy, it's legitimate. It's legitimate. If you previously sent an email to the U.S. Embassy to express interest in the refugee resettlement program, that's all you did. You've never applied for the program. I've told people this over and over and over again. There was no application, there was no program. However, a short while ago, the U.S. Embassy in South Africa published on their website, and I'm sure their server's going to crash very soon. The other one go in there. They published the program. You must sign a statement of interest or fill out a form and send it. Now you can apply. The floodgates can potentially open right now. If you're interested in the U.S. refugee resettlement program that President Trump has generously offered, and here's another piece of information which I expected, but we couldn't prove, and it turns out to be the case. It's not just Afrikaners. Ethnic minorities also qualify for refugee resettlement in the United States under President Trump's programs. So, if you want to apply for the program, you can now do it. If you sent an email previously, it wasn't an application, it was simply a statement of interest, as I've said over and over again. So, again, tragic that anybody would want to leave this amazing country. Sad to see, heartbreaking, but I can't put myself in your shoes. If that's the path you need to take, that's the path you need to take. It's not my job to dissuade you, it's not my job to convince you. Just stay off my lawn, and there are no FEMA tents. From OR Tambo, this is Chris. God bless.
Yeah, so 31 people disliked that video. It got 52,000 views. 11 disliked the other. So I got 130,000 views between that. So I can tell you that 130,000 people ought to know what the hell's going on. They ought to know. Because 130,000 people watch that. Maybe it's only 80,000, 50,000 watch one, and same 50,000 watch the other. But at least 80,000 South Africans ought to know what the hell's going on. Maybe there's some Americans in there. Yeah, so, I'm getting a little frustrated with the behavior of some people. So, yeah, and tell me what I got wrong there. Tell me what I got wrong there. No one from the U.S. government contacting, no one informed me from the U.S. government about what was going on. I had no contacts I was reaching out to in the U.S. government up to that stage. And tell me what I got wrong. Tell me what I got wrong. Nothing. The real great Kali says, someone I know received a call from Kenya and asking them to call back. What are the chances? The chances are excellent. Those people in Kenya are part of World Church Services, which is a contracted non-profit organization, non-government organization working on behalf of the United States Department of State in Africa, and their operation in Africa runs out of Kenya. They've been contracted to supplement the effort to screen people for the refugee program out of South Africa. And some of them may be relocating to South Africa at some point to facilitate this in a faster fashion. But what are the chances that person may call back? Very good, because they won't get paid if they don't do their job. It's as simple as that. All our turns will come. Yep. Yep. So Madeline and Ruben saw that and they filled the statement out right away. Might it be that those are in the U.S. now settled into their new reality, or they're working different hours than they did in South Africa, might be unable to watch like before? Yeah, Yolanda, I'm sure a lot of people can't watch my content during the day here, but some of the people located out in the Mountain Time Zone and Pacific Time Zone who came here as refugees can watch my evening show. I mean, if you're located in Nevada, for instance, or Arizona, when I do the night owls, you're 3 hours behind me. So it's only 8 p.m. Yep. I watched Trump sign the order in February, applied the next day, so it appeared on the website. PRM. Yep. People should also know non-immigrant visa takes 100 days or more to approve. I think a visa should be vetted more than just H2. Yeah, no, refugee. Well, James Walkinshaw, you are correct. It takes a while to get a visa, a non-immigrant visa normally. See, that's the other thing. I mean, so if you're just an ordinary South African, you can ask the conscious clerical. Ernst van Sale was supposed to attend an event last year. He submitted his visa requests a couple months in advance and didn't get the visa. So he waited over 2.5 months and didn't get a visa. And then the time came and he missed the event. But he's not crying about that. It's unfortunate, but that's the reality. Yep. And so people that want the refugee program are upset because they're not here already? Come on, man. Krista said, my daughter's boyfriend got his case number for a case of assault. The owner got threatened by EFF about this. Okay, Krista, thank you. That's unfortunate. Why are you sharing with me? I mean, to be fair, I think being over there, it's super, super overwhelming. I doubt they're watching YouTube. Don't take it personally. Okay, I'm not. I didn't bring up the topic of these people not watching YouTube. You guys did. I'm not talking about them not watching my channel. Never said that. I said I'm not in touch with some of these people. I've lost contact with them because they've turned off their South African phone numbers. Probably because they've been doxxed and they've been called by everybody. So another person who was in the second batch wrote to me a short while ago. I sent a message out to all these people yesterday. Let me see if I can find that. I'm not going to read it all to you because I'm not going to disclose that person. But I saw that when I was looking at my WhatsApp a little bit ago that one of these people wrote back. Okay. Okay, well, one of the people in the second group declined the interview. Okay. Yep, it's a risk they're not willing to take. That's fine. Okay. They're very appreciative of the time and effort that I put in to assist them, and in their opinion, I've played a pivotal role in taking down a carefully crafted misinformation machine that's worked very effective against us in the past. We owe you a debt of gratitude. Thank you for reaching out. Oh, it's my pleasure. Yeah, and I don't take offense. If you're listening, I don't take offense. I can't ever mention that a person who has come recently joined one of our social groups. This person, okay, the person might be willing to interview. Yeah, so they'll reach out to that person. Yep. So, yeah, anyway. So, we only need to watch videos. Well, no, you should do your own research. But go to the U.S. Embassy website. It's the only place you're going to find any information other than from me. And I see Professor G is also putting information out, so you can find stuff from him too. Nothing wrong. Maybe re-release those 2 videos again. Beyond me, how some people just keep on harping on the same wrong thing instead of watching and listening. Yeah, I think what I should do is download those videos and edit them and then put them in a new video. Okay? All right. That's a good idea. Thank you for that, Ingrid. Do you think the numbers of refugees will increase towards the end of the U.S. summer? I saw it somewhere on YouTube. I think it was Rubio who said it. If Rubio said it, then it's probably going to happen. He's the Secretary of State. He has purview over this program, and he can find the money from other parts of his budget. And that would be a very reliable source unless he's countermanded by president, but I don't think he would be. It has nothing to do with the summer, guys. Okay, our summer is now. It ends in September, October. The summer, when it ends, it's the new fiscal year. That's why the fiscal year runs October 1st, because it's the winter or the fall that starts a new year for the government. October 1st to September 30th. That's the key consideration here, not summertime. It has nothing to do with summer. It has nothing to do with the number of people applied. It has nothing to do with the situation of South Africans. It has everything to do with the U.S. government's cycle, its calendar. The way I get kicked off of this side buffering, I only catch up with the last 3 hours after you're done. That's terrible, Vera. I'm sorry to hear that. Just realized I listened intently to what I need to hear and somehow managed to block out when you reply to signers. Huh? Just got home, stopped at KFC, ordered, and 4 blacks other walked in after me and all got served before me. Yeah, that's happened to me too, Peter J. Piper. I've gone to McDonald's and lots of people come in and all I've done is order a hamburger without onions. Yeah, it's horrible. Coming from South Africa winter to USA winter can be somewhat depressing. Well, okay, Freya. The other option is you just stay in South Africa, you don't come. Also, winter in Florida, winter in Nevada, in Southern California is not winter. Why no onions? Because they're disgusting and vile, milk and honey. U.S. will not accept any ANC delegations due to the high risk of delegation disappearing and becoming illegal aliens. Rian says, are you aware of where or if you can update your phone number after applying for program change circumstances? No, there's no such thing for do it, Rian. I tell people not to resubmit a statement of interest, but I mean, how else are you going to do it? So, I mean, you know, if your phone number is not up to date, there's no way to update that. That's something that was overlooked in the program. Probably because a lot of people would just constantly pester them. So, I mean, you have to make your own decision. If I was in your boots, I know what I would do. Hey, J9, welcome to you. It happened to me at Standard Bank, and so I threw my toys out of the cot. There you go. Applied to 12th of May, no contact. No problem with that. Problem is our family have received some very terrifying threats against us. Also said cops are in their pocket. Okay, first off, LSR, when people claim the police are in their pocket, that isn't always true. It's meant to frighten people. and they'll do things that give the impression that's the case. I don't know where you live. I don't know your circumstances. I don't know if you're urban or you're rural, you're remote. So I really can't recommend anything for you short of knowing that information. My recommendation is wherever you're at, I would get in touch with AfriForum and find out about the community patrol. That would be a start. Okay. Your view on Bob Wine. I haven't seen interviews on Bobby Wine. Bobby Wine is a decent person who's been persecuted by Museveni and his son and unlawfully imprisoned. That's not his real name, Bobby Wine. That's just his music persona. Yeah, my opinion on this is pretty good. I used to live in Uganda. A pretty good opinion of Bobby Wine. Take winter to say any day of what we're facing here. Correct, Lynette. That was my point. That was my point. I'm done with this BS. What's that, Peter? What BS are you done with? We're actually looking forward to hopefully having a white Christmas. So excited. Well, you know where you're coming from. You're not going to have white Christmas in South Africa. You're not going to have snow in the summertime on the Drakensberg. Can you please play my song? I sent you an email. No, Avi, I can't play your song because I haven't got it. Okay, let me see. From Avi Borger, Freedom Road. If this is country, it's not going to get a long play. I'll tell you that now. Yes, milk and honey, but it's not Christmas.
Ons aan USA toe. Met drome groet soos 'n blou ligbom.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Die lang wag was soos 'n swou skoen. Ons gaan vry wees, ja ons gaan vry wees. Elke dag wat ons hier leef. Vry soos die wind, soos die see se gees. Pak jou das en los die fees.
Kalfoot Silky
Ons
time.
jag die son, die wêreld se fees. Die pad is wild, maar ons hou vas. Vryheid roep, soos 'n stem in die nag. Ons het lang gewag, ons het lang gewag. Die wêreld draai, ons dans op sy lag. Ons gaan vry wees, ja ons gaan vry wees. Elke dag wat ons hier leef. Vry soos die wind, soos die see se gees.
You guys just like it because it's in Afrikaans. Be honest.
Elke dag wat ons hier leef. Vry soos die wind, soos die see se gees. Elke dag in ons te veer. Ons jag die son, die wêreld se fees. Die pad is vol dat ons hou vas. Vryheid roep, soos 'n stem in die nag. Ons het lang gewag, ons het lang gewag. Die wêreld draai, ons dans op sy lag. Ons gaan vry wees, ja ons gaan vry wees. 'n droom is so groot, die lang wag is oor. Ons roep nou ons nood. Vry soos die hemel, soos 'n skip wat nooit sink.
Pretty good. There you go. There you go. Laughing at the end. All right, Avi, I played your song. There you go. People love it. They love it. All right, folks. What are you doing here? It's been almost 2 hours. I've got to run out. But yeah, so I did those refugee things at the very beginning, man. At the very beginning. The very beginning. Very beginning. So did he leave? Did Avi leave? He hasn't said anything. I played it. Soki sucks, says Rihanna. Well, the problem is, unless you have a subscription and you create these songs, I could get hit with a copyright strike, even if you give them to me, because they're not technically yours unless you have a pro subscription or you're on a website that grants you permission. On Suno, I pay a subscription, so any song I create, I have all the rights to. So, Delare. Yeah, there's no Delare here. Oh, you're way behind, Vera. Sorry to hear that. All right. Okay. That's going to wrap it, folks. That's going to wrap it for today. Thanks for being here. Tomorrow, we've got Wednesdays with the Colonel on Ronaldo. Also got my news program and then my radio show tomorrow night. So, thanks for being here. Be sure to watch the content. We had a slowdown. We had a brief surge and then a slowdown. So let's see what let me look at the analytics here real quickly. By the way, we are creeping up there. So we were at 32,000 and 45,000. Went back up to 101,000 yesterday. But 101,000 is okay, but not great. And it's been a slow day today, so it'll be less than that. But thank you for that. 108,749 subscribers. We're growing slowly. But the video I did a short while ago when we started this stream, Frustration Mounts for the refugees, that one's up to 7,600. Is that correct? 7,600 views. Yeah. Okay. Cool beans. Yolanda Mayer just gave 21 Rand super chat. I do believe that's, well, it's not the first, but one of the first super chats in the stream. Thank you for that. All right. Cheers, everybody. Have a good night. God bless, and we'll catch you later. I will do one more video today, most likely about the vote of no confidence. So we'll see how that goes. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.